Detective Cole Maddox was the kind of man who made suspects confess with just a stare. He walked the halls of the 17th precinct like he owned the place, broad-shouldered, brooding, and always one step ahead of everyone. His reputation was golden. High-profile arrests, airtight cases, and charm that made judges lenient and reporters swoon. But behind the badge, behind the headlines and the medals, was something far darker. Cole had secrets, and one of them had an Ava Monroe. Ava wasn't his girlfriend. She wasn't even someone he should have known. She was a witness, a nightclub hostess, the kind who wore red lipstick like a weapon and walked like she owned every man's attention. They met during a bust at Club Nova, a drug den with music loud enough to drown out gunfire. She'd been leaning against the bar, swirling a glass of whiskey, unbothered by the chaos. Her green eyes met his as he stormed in with the team. "You don't look like you're here for the party," she'd said, voice smooth like velvet. He should have cuffed her. Instead, he told his men to let her go. That was 2 weeks ago. Now she was in his apartment again, curled on his leather couch, bare legs crossed, wearing nothing but one of his shirts. "You shouldn't be here," Cole murmured, pacing the floor. Ava just smirked. "Neither should you." But monsters, like, you don't sleep well alone. She was right. He couldn't stop coming back to her. Something about the way she knew how twisted he really was. And didn't run. But that night, she handed him something that made his blood turn cold. A flash drive. "What's this?" "Insurance," she whispered. "From the club. Security footage. Stuff you didn't want your boys to see." Cole plugged it into his laptop, and the screen filled with horror. It wasn't just a drug deal gone wrong. It was him, dragging a man into the back room, beating him until the tile turned red. A man who never made it into any report. "A cigarette. Don't worry, sugar. I haven't shared it." "Yet." He turned slowly. "Are you blackmailing me?" "No," she said softly, stepping close. "I'm just making sure you remember who knows the truth about you. You're not a hero. Not to me. Not to anyone who's really watching." Cole stared at her, eyes cold. He could make it all go away, delete the footage, erase her name, bury her body. He'd done worse, but her touch against his chest stopped him. "You could kill me," she whispered. "Or you could let me help you." "Help me do what?" he asked, breath ragged. "Be the monster in the right direction." Outside, the city kept breathing, unaware that the man they called a savior was deciding if he'd become something far worse or something dangerously just. The body was dumped behind a strip club on 49th. No idea. No phone, no witnesses, just a shattered jaw and blood-soaked shirt. When the call came in, Cole knew the second he heard the description. It was Frankie DeLauro, a mid-level snitch, one who had once begged for protection from Cole himself. Now he lay crumpled like trash behind a dumpster. Cole stared down at the corpse, jaw clenched. The rookie beside him gagged, unable to stomach the mess. Cole had no such problem. His eyes scanned the scene, not for the killer, but for signs of who wanted to send a message. And he found it. Scrawled in red lipstick on the wall behind the body. "The Wolf always returns to the forest." Only 2 people knew what that meant. Cole and Ava. He found her that night in his apartment again. Barefoot, sipping coffee like she owned the damn place. She didn't even flinch when he slammed her against the wall, forearm pressed to her throat. "You did it, didn't you?" Ava looked at him with those green eyes that never showed fear. "Do I look like I could bash a man's skull in?" "You're playing games," she smiled. "You think you're the only one with demons?" Frankie was feeding names to internal affairs. "Yours was one of them." Cole backed off slowly, watching her rub the bruised skin on her neck. Part of him hated how much he wanted her even now. Who else is coming after me? "I don't know." "Yeah, but I can find out." He narrowed his eyes. "Why help me?" Ava stepped closer, voice dropping to a whisper. "Because you scare the people I want scared. Because sometimes a monster is the only thing that keeps the wolves at bay." Later that night, Cole pulled an old file out of his locked drawer. A file from 3 years ago. Case 17 to 842. Unsolved. Redacted got victim. Noah Maddox. His brother. Murdered. Execution-style dot and the lead suspect. Frankie Dola Row. Cole never brought him in. The case died quietly. Like so many others Cole buried. Now, Frankie was dead. And someone, maybe Ava, maybe not wanted Cole to remember what he used to be capable of before the badge became a costume. Cole looked at his reflection in the mirror. The man staring back wasn't a hero. He wasn't a savior. He was a blade, waiting for someone to swing it, and maybe Ava was right. Maybe it was time to start cutting back. Cole didn't sleep at night. Instead, he sat by the window watching the city lights flicker like dying stars. Ava had curled into his sheets again, her bare back exposed, a tattoo between her shoulder blades he hadn't noticed before, a wolf and thorns. She never spoke about her past. But that ink spoke volumes. By morning, Cole had a plan. It was time to flush the rats out. Frankie was a pawn someone used to send a message. That meant someone bigger was watching. Waiting. He went to Ia, threw down a fake tip. A confidential informant had more dirt on dirty cops. And they'd be meeting tonight at Club Nova. That it was bait, and Ava was the hook got. She showed up dressed like fire-tight crimson dress, slit high enough to tease every sin out of a man's bones. The club was loud, pulsing, full of eyes that never looked directly at her, but followed her every move. Cole sat in the back, out of sight. He watched her work the room slow, confident, dangerous, and then he walked in. Detective Marcus Brandt. Ia. Golden Boy, Cole's former partner. And the man who had leaked Noah's name to the wrong people years ago? Brandt spotted Ava, raised a brow, then leaned in close like he'd just seen his next toy. Cole's hand clenched around the glass in front of him. Ava laughed. Playful and provocative, then whispered something in Brandt's ear. He smiled. She whispered again, and then she kissed him. Cole stood up fast, blood boiling. He shoved through the crowd, ready to break every tooth in Brandt's smug mouth, but Ava caught his eye as he approached and gave a quick flick of her fingerweight. Brandt led her into the back VIP lounge. Thinking he was leading a lamb, Cole followed, gun tucked under his coat, fury in every step. He burst through the door and found Brandt on the floor, gasping, blood trickling from his nose. Ava stood over him with a glass ashtray in hand. Her dress was torn slightly at the shoulder, and her lipstick smeared across her cheek. Cole pointed his gun at Brandt. You laid a hand on her? Brandt coughed. She's a lying Beatrice TC. She said she had files, proof. She does. Cole snarled, and now so do I. He pulled out his phone, showing Brandt the footage him grabbing Ava, slamming her against the wall, threatening her. All of it recorded through her hidden earring cam. Brandt's face drained of color. You'll never make it stick, he whispered. I'm protected. Maybe, Cole said, leaning close. But I'm not interested in court. I'm interested in payback. Ava stepped beside him, adjusting her dress. He gave you up, 3 years ago. Your brother? He told. The wrong person you were poking around. Cole stared at Brandt. I always knew it was you. He didn't pull the trigger. He just broke Brandt's nose, his ribs, and his future. Then he walked out with Ava. Hand in hand, outside. She leaned in close, breath hot against his ear. You liked seeing me kiss him, didn't you? She whispered, bold and amused, like the rage it pulled out of you. He didn't answer, but his mouth crushed against hers the moment they were alone in the alley. Passion laced with violence, hunger, and something darker than lust. Something real. Something dangerous. And just like that, they weren't just a cop and a witness anymore. They were partners in something much more twisted. Cole's knuckles still throbbed from cracking into Brandt's face, but the burn of it felt good, righteous. Ava stood beside him in the alley, eyes gleaming under the glow of a flickering neon sign, her torn red dress clinging to her like danger. Itself. You didn't stop me, he muttered. Why would I? She said, licking blood from the corner of her lip. He deserved worse. Her fingers traced the line of his jaw, slow and electric. You're not afraid of what you're becoming, are you? I'm afraid I like it, he said. She leaned in, her lips brushing his earlobe. Then stop pretending you're still. A good man. Their mouths collided again. This time wasn't desperation, it was raw, unfiltered power. Her back hit the alley wall, and Cole pinned her there, one hand gripping her thigh, the other buried in her hair. She pulled at his belt like she'd been waiting for permission to ruin him. Still think I'm just a witness? She whispered. Between kisses. No, he growled. You're my trigger. And she made him forget the rules, made him want blood and heat and truth all at once. But as they stumbled breathless out of the alley, clothes askew and hearts pounding, a sleek black SUV slowed at the curb. Tinted windows. No plates. Ava went still. Her hand instinctively moved behind her back, where she always kept a blade tucked in her garter. They found me, she whispered. Faster than I expected. Cole stepped in front of her. Who? She didn't answer. The SUV sped away. I need to tell you something, she said quietly. Start talking. My real name isn't Ava. His eyes locked on hers. Then who the hell are you? She looked away. The woman who set up your brother, and now wants to make it right. A wave of rage washed over him, but there was no time to process it. Because whatever she was hiding, whatever storm was coming, they'd both just been marked. And monsters? They don't run. They hunt. Cole paced the apartment like a caged animal. His jaw was tight, his eyes darker than ever. Ava sat on the edge of the bed, legs crossed, her usual smug boldness stripped away. Just for now. He finally stopped. Say it. Say your real name. She looked up. Lyra Voss. He flinched like she'd slapped him. That name belonged to a former informant turned traitor, someone who had disappeared from the streets years ago, after feeding bad intel to the wrong crew. Intel that got people killed. People like his brother. You set up Noah, he said, flatly. No, she shot back. I didn't set him up. I warned him. He didn't listen. You want to hate someone? Hate Marcus Brandt. He took my information and sold it. Cole's fist hit the wall hard enough to crack the plaster. You lied to me from the start. I protected myself. If I came to you as Lyra, you would have shot me on sight. You're damn right. She stood, walking toward him slowly, dress clinging to her like a second skin. And yet, you didn't. You pulled me closer. You tore your own rules apart from me. Don't pretend this was ever about the badge, Cole. You liked who you became with me. He wanted to deny it, but the burn in his gut, the heat in his blood, said otherwise. Then she said what really froze him. I didn't just disappear. I was taken. Cole stared at her. By who? She stepped into the moonlight by the window. A man named Cade Resnick, ex-cop, burned by I runs a syndicate now. He made me work for him. Made me lure in cops' dirty ones. I fed him intel. And if I deem single quotes T. dot. She pulled up her sleeve. Cole's breath hitched. Scars. Deep, ugly reminders of obedience. I escaped 6 months ago. Started using Ava. I came back here to find you. Because you're the last cop he fears. Cole's voice was low. You used me. I did, she admitted. But now I want him dead, and I know you do too. Silence hung thick in the room. Then Cole took her face in his hands, rough but not cruel. After this, he whispered. We're done, she nodded. Then let's make it count. They met Cade's men that night in a closed shipping yard at the edge of the city. Fog rolled over the rusted containers. Cole wore all black. Lyra no longer. Ava wore leather and vengeance. The plan was simple. Feed Cade a lie about a raid. Draw him into the open. And finish what she started years ago. But Cade was smarter than they thought. And he brought more than muscle. He brought cameras. Smile. Detective Maddox. Cade's voice echoed over a portable speaker. You're about to be famous. Snipers locked in. Cole raised his hand slowly. You want me? Here I am. Cade stepped into view. Older now. Scars over his lips. The devil in a cheap suit. But then Lyra walked out from behind Cole and Cade's smile faltered. You he growled. She smirked. Did you miss me? Before Cade could raise his gun, a shot rang out from above. One of the snipers dropped. Blood spraying. Cole moved fast, taking out a second with a clean headshot. Lyra tackled Cade into the mud, knife out, slashing his wrist, his throat, his power dot. In 60 seconds, it was over. Cade gurgled on the ground, dying slow. You made me your monster, she whispered. Now choke on it. Cole grabbed her arm and pulled her away. It's done. No, she said. It's just beginning. Because one of the body cams, still blinking red, and someone had been watching. The footage dropped online at 3:17 a.m. A blurry video. Sound crackling, blood dripping on the lens. Cole Maddox, gun drawn, face full of rage. Lyra, formerly Ava, on her knees beside a dying man, knife in hand, whispering, choke on it. It spread like fire dot by sunrise. It was everywhere. Hero cop or hired killer. Detective Cole Maddox, justice or vigilante. And just like that, Cole's badge meant nothing. He was suspended pending investigation. I raided his apartment. They found burner phones, hidden drives, case files that had been quietly closed without trial. Some said he'd been working outside. The law for years thought they were right, but they didn't know the full truth, because Lyra Voss was gone. No note. No trail. Just one last message left on his encrypted drive. You were the only one who ever scared me. Because I think I loved the monster, you really are. Don't come looking. I don't want to be saved. I want to stay dangerous. L. Cole sat in his darkened apartment, city lights pulsing beyond the window. The uniform he'd once worn lay crumpled on the floor like a costume that never really fit. He poured a glass of whiskey. Didn't drink it. His phone buzzed. Unknown number. Just a text. Another cop was taken. Warehouse district. Resnick's leftovers are still playing the game. Cole didn't hesitate. He grabbed his gun. No badge. No warrant. Just hunger. In darkness. That night, in the shadows of a forgotten warehouse, they found him again. The old Cole. But this time, he didn't wear a shield. He wore black gloves and a growl. Let him go. He told the masked men circling the terrified rookie cop. One of them laughed. And who the hell are you now? Maddox? Cole stepped forward, eyes like fire. I'm the man you call when monsters need hunting. And then chaos, gunshots, screams, bones breaking under boots, steel fists. Ruthless precision. By the time it ended, the rookie was safe, trembling in a pool of blood not his own. Cole turned away, disappearing into the smoke. Without a word. The news never got the story right. Some said he ran. Some called him rogue. Some whispered that the city let him work in the shadows, off the books, when true justice failed. No one knew where he lived. No one could find Lyra, but every time a victim was saved, every time a dirty cop vanished without a trace, every time justice came like a blade in the dark, that they all asked the same question. Was it him? Because once you unleash a monster like Cole Maddox, you don't put him back in a cage. The end.